Well, hello there, people with internet, and hello again. I am TheMBmulti, and welcome to part 23 of my Doki Doki Longer Roads Let's Play series. In the previous episode, I got the bad ending with Yuri, unfortunately. So, in this episode, hopefully we're going to get the good ending with Yuri. I went to find Yuri last time, and that was the incorrect choice. And then, because help myself was apparently the correct choice, but I do kind of, well, forgive myself. It's kind of a weird way of saying it, but I do kind of like, I don't like beat myself up about it too much, because how on earth was I supposed to know that the weird demon girl that was constantly harassing me and Yuri the whole time was actually giving me good advice this time? Like, what the fuck? The only thing that she's been doing the whole time was harassing Yuri and I, and then once out of all the times that she was being a massive bitch, only once did she actually tell the truth, and then I had to listen to her. Like, how on earth was I supposed to know that? So okay, help myself is apparently. There's no way I can face Yuri now. Something is definitely wrong with me, and Yuri seems to make it worse. So as much as I love her, I need to stay away for her sake. I'm going home. Chapter 5. Fate finds a way. Reminds me of Life Finds a Way from Jurassic Park. I close the door behind me, locking it shut. I know Sayori is going to try and see me when she gets home. That should stop her getting in. Throwing my back on the couch and drop onto the soft cushions. How am I going to fix this one? Another message lights up my phone screen. The girls are messaging me non-stop on my way home. Well, except for Yuri. It's another text from Sayori. Hope you're decent. I'm coming over, smile. Good luck with that. I close the window blinds shut, so she can't look in. Okay, so I can hear Sayori's muffled voice through the door. Mark, can I come in? Ugh. Shit. Are you okay, Mark? Sayori, just please go away. But I want... Go away! Sayori gives a small yelp of surprise. Then suddenly begins to cry. Sayori, wait. I didn't mean... Hear the sound of Sayori running away from the door. I cobbled to my knees, falling to the floor. God damn it! You just couldn't help yourself, could you? You think I wanted this? It's not my fault. It's very much your fault. You're... Oh... What? How? Even? How am I the reason all of this happens? Everything was normal up until that demon bitch showed up. The fuck? It's because of you that the other girls can't fix their own problems. What do you mean problems? Did you know Sayori has depression? Every day she thinks of killing herself. All because she misses you. Natsuki's father beats her every night. She has no mother, no siblings to protect her. No one to stand up for her. And Monika lives in eternal torment, knowing all of her friends' problems but unable to do anything. They still suffer through all of this because of the choices you made. But I didn't mean, or whatever. Never wanted what, Mark? You could have picked any of them. Could have fixed Sayori's... wanting to help Yuri, how the hell is that the wrong choice? You're trying to make me seem like I'm the fucking enemy here, but... Like, why is helping Yuri so much of a wrong choice? Like, yes, I could have fixed Sayori's depression, and yes, I could have chosen Yuri, Monika's route or whatever. But I chose Yuri's route because I wanted to help, not because I wanted to see Yuri's route, but yeah, you know, like, what the fuck? What if I chose Sayori? You could have said, if I chose Sayori, then you could have said, oh, you should have chosen Yuri because blah blah blah. This is such a hollow argument, shut up. You could have saved Natsuki from her dad, but no, you chose Yuri because you felt sorry for her. If I chose Sayori, I would have chosen her because I felt sorry for her too. So what the fuck is your point? You're not making a point. And in doing so, ruined the lives of Monika and every other girl in the club. Oh, so yeah, all of a sudden it's my fault that all of that is happening to them. That's not even my fault. Yeah, but that's not my fault. I didn't know about any of that. What do you mean it was an honest mistake? Even if I did notice, you know, like, it's not my fault that it happens. It's not like I gave Sayori depression or I told Natsuki's dad to beat her up. What the fuck? Like, I understand this is sort of like depression talking or whatever, but I don't even know anymore because holy fucking shit, this Yuri route is so incredibly weird and so incredibly different from Sayori's route. It's insane. No, you had multiple chances to rectify your mistakes. Every single time you chose Yuri. Yeah, what's wrong with that? What the fuck is wrong with that? Why on earth is choosing Yuri wrong? The fuck are you talking about? You can use the exact same argument if I chose Monika, or Sayori, or Natsuki. If I chose Natsuki, you could have said, oh mate, you should have chosen Yuri because it's your fault that she cuts herself, you know? Like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. You're not making any points. It's so fucking hollow, this argument that you're trying to make. Now you've driven her away too. And that wasn't even my fault either, because I was infested by this weird demon bitch that came out of absolutely nowhere. Basically, Mark, all you're doing... That's the wrong your, bitch. Grammar police. Take it back to elementary school. This depression. How funny would that be though? Like, well, your depression sounds a bit depressing as such, but you know, they're making like some arguments against you, trying to make you depressed, and then your depression voice makes a grammatical error, and then like the grammar police shows up to drag him back to elementary school. Like, no, hang on, I was supposed to make an argument. Like, no, just take him back. You know, I really hate you, but you're right. Everyone else would be better off without me. Okay. I go and pick up my phone from where I dropped it. I sent the group chat one last message. I'm truly sorry for everything I have done. I enjoyed the rest of your lives. Oh, okay. Then leave the chat. Block Sayori, Natsuki, Monika, and finally Yuri. My phone falls out of my hands and onto the hard wooden floor. I won't be needing that anymore. I slowly get up my position on the ground, walking up to my bedroom. Wait, it's night outside? What the hell? I shrug. Weirder stuff has happened to me today. Why is it so weird that it's nighttime outside? I fall onto my bed, breathing a heavy sigh. So, what do I do now? Close my eyes and begin to drift to sleep. I'll figure that out tomorrow. Oh, great. Probably should have expected this. You actually listened to me, yeah? Because apparently ignoring your stupid advice is the wrong choice. What are you talking about? My warning, I told you to help yourself, and you did. I can't tell you how happy this makes me, Mark. You won't regret this. I didn't do it for you, okay? I did it for Yuri. Oh, how noble of you. Well, I have more advice for you. Go see Yuri. Tomorrow would be best. What is she playing at? No, fuck you! Stop trying to manipulate me. This is wrong, you're ruining everything. Libitina seems to take a step back in shock. Mark, what have I done to deserve so much hate for? Oh, I don't know! Maybe like trying to sabotage my relationship with Yuri pretty much every single step of the way. Maybe it's that. I don't know. Could be something else. Maybe it's that. Yeah, is he being fucking serious? He told me Yuri cuts herself. He calls her a freak. So did she... Those words stopped me dead in my tracks. What? Yuri told you about her cutting. She called herself a freak. That's different. Though I don't like it, she's allowed to call herself that. Oh Mark, if only you knew. Knew what? Yuri takes a step forward, then slowly begins to change. Knew who I really was. What the fuck? Yuri? Not quite. More like part of her psyche. I guess you could call it. Libitina is just the name she gave me. I think she got it from that Portrait of Markov book. This is insane. There's no way I know it might seem a bit odd, but think about it. How did I know what Yuri was going to do before she did it? How did I know about her cutting? Something that Yuri has never told anyone. I don't know. Look, you don't have to believe me, just know that you made the best possible choice. And tomorrow will be a better day because of it. Okay, well that was some much needed explanation. That doesn't really explain the fact that you were a massive bitch in the beginning of this route, but okay. I thought it was like some sort of random demon that was... I thought that was going to be part of why I had all those dreams in the beginning of the campaign, but apparently that has nothing to do with that, and this is just part of... But okay, hang on a minute, but is this like a bad part of her mind, or is this like a good part of her mind? I don't even know. Like... It feels like this is her depression, or almost, you know, that's why she gave it a name, you know. Sayori calls it her rain clouds, and then Yuri calls it Libitina in this case, you know. So it feels like it's like her depression or whatever, or her, like, all her bad thoughts. But why on earth would they be helping? Would they be wanting to help me help Yuri, you know? It's still a bit okay. It's definitely a lot clearer now. So thanks for that explanation. But they, I mean, I do like it when you make like a write something in a way that, you know, after the character explains it, it's like it makes sense. But well, actually, then again, I prefer it if you could figure it out yourself along the way, kind of like in Blue Skies, where. Monika, where Yuri told, Yuri told me her parents were dead very late on, but you can figure that out a lot earlier because she talks about it in the past tense and everything. But the character you're playing as is kind of stupid, so it takes your character a while to learn what's going on about that, and eventually Yuri has to tell it herself. But I prefer that stuff where you can where, you know, like it's. Not explicitly said, but, you know, it is explained in a way like that, where you can figure it out on your own without the characters explaining it, and then eventually the characters can explain it to just confirm what you were thinking. And that could also, like, throw you for a loop if you thought something else, and it turns out that something else is going on. Where you just thought that maybe Yuri's parents were gone, but, as in, like, on a business trip, but it turns out they're dead. And that could be a bit of a twist. I prefer that, but here there was absolutely no indication that this was some sort of part of Yuri that was talking to me. There was absolutely no indication that they were trying to help me. They were just trying to bring Yuri down, and me down, and our relationship down. So how on earth was I supposed to know that this was A, part of Yuri, and B, that they were trying to help in the end? Like, and even if they were trying to help, like, why is this like a bad part of Yuri's mind? Is it a good part of Yuri's mind? Is it a combination of both? Is it all, even though she said it was just a part? Like, now that I've actually gotten an answer as to who this is, there are way more questions as into why it was written in this way. It's very confusing still, but in a different way. First, it was confusing because I just didn't know who this character was and what they wanted and why they were in this game. Now that it has been explained who it is and what they want, it still doesn't make any sense, but then in a different way. Like, why was it written in this way? Why were they trying to destroy our relationship with Yuri in the beginning, and then it turns out, oh, actually, I wanted to help you. Like, the fuck were you doing for the first 15? What the fuck were you doing for the first 15 days that I knew you or whatever? You know, what the hell. Could have worded that a bit differently and all, like, you know, in the dialogue where you make it ominous or something, you know, make it vague and ominous, but don't like try to, what's it called, like talk crap about Yuri the whole time, and then, oh yeah, by the way, even though I'm talking her into the ground the whole time, I'm actually trying to help you. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. That doesn't make any sense at all. Why on earth would you first talk somebody into the ground, like fucking drill them so far into the ground that they come out in China, and then the very next the very next page, for if it was a book, you know, the very next page, like, oh hey, I'm gonna give you some incredibly important advice, and if you don't listen to it, you'll get a bad ending because I'm actually trying to help you. Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why on earth would anyone do that? That's so weird. So, like, how on earth, like, obviously I'm going to ignore their advice because they were a massive bitch the whole time. And then it's like, oh, you idiot, you didn't follow my advice. Like, yeah, no shit, because you were a piece of shit. Of course I'm not gonna listen to you, because how the hell do I know that you're actually secretly trying to help me? The fuck? Like, make it ominous if you want me to like be in doubt of whether I should trust this thing or not. Don't like make this character out to be so antagonistic and then flip it around the entire, like, completely. Like, you can do that, but not this way. Like, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but there have to be enough examples of where you think that some character is the villain, but it turns out they're actually the good guy. And I'm pretty sure that's the way that that character is like portrayed has nothing to do with making them so incredibly antagonizing. Because if you do that, you need to make sure that they are redeemed in the eyes of the audience. Well, actually, well, it's a bit, I guess that works out. For Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender, Zuko starts out as the main antagonist. Of course, spoiler. Well, not really spoiler. If you haven't seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, what the fuck are you doing on this video? Go ahead and watch that. Eventually, of course, he turns against his father and decides to help the Avatar defeat him, and becomes a massive good guy and teaches Aang firebending and stuff. So there is a good example of an evil character becoming a good guy. But even there, he isn't made out to be evil just for the sake of being evil. The only reason why he wants to hurt Aang and all of his friends is just because he's the son of a father who wants the recognition from his father that he never got, essentially. So he has a very relatable reason as to why he does what he does. So even though you don't have to agree with what he does, you can understand why he does it. Because there are enough examples in real life where people just want recognition from someone, and that's why they go great lengths to do various things. So, you know, their motive, the way they are motivated to do evil things, has to be something that the audience can understand. And then that can still make them evil. You can still kind of sort of like hate the character. But at least you know why they do what they do. And they're not just evil for the sake of being evil. Because, like I said, if you want that character to turn out to be a good guy in the end of your story, they need to be redeemed in the eyes of the audience. And that is pretty freaking hard if they are, the whole time that you've known them, just evil for the sake of being evil. You know? Which is what it felt like with Libitina. It just felt like they were just evil for the sake of being evil. Just felt like they were just a massive asshole just for the sake of it. Like, I had absolutely no idea what their motive was. It felt like their motive was just destroy my relationship with Yuri, because, you know, I never saw her. Like, Libitina wasn't part of the initial dreams in the prologue. So only when I started to, like, be close with Yuri is when I decided, when I saw her. So obviously I'm thinking, okay, well, apparently this character is somehow jealous, because that's what they were talking about. That's what it felt like that they were. So apparently their only motive is just to destroy my relationship with Yuri. And why? I don't know. No motive is given. So automatically, if no motive is given, I immediately think, well, just because, you know, nobody bothered to explain it, so the motive must be just because. So, and that is the worst motive that you can give your character that you want to redeem in the end. The reason why they're doing evil things is just because. That is by far the worst motive to give any villain that is supposed to be a good guy in the end of your story. Because that is the hardest one to turn around. Because they need to like fucking do a crap ton of charity work in order to make that, to turn that around, you know? Like bring people back from the dead kind of good like redeemable stuff. And even then it feels fabricated. Because, you know, when they are evil just for the sake of being evil, it also kind of feels like when you have to redeem them in a humongous, like, tremendous amount of, you have to put in a tremendous amount of effort to redeem that character, and then it also feels like they're just good for the sake of being good, just because the writer of the story thought, oh, this character has to be a good guy in the end. So that all feels extremely fake, so there's no humanity in any of this. It feels so incredibly fake. And that's why, of course, you're not going to listen to their advice of Libitina, because why would you? You know, they've just been evil for the sake of being evil, or just, well, not necessarily evil, but like an asshole, a prick, someone just to annoy you, just for the sake of doing that. That's what it feels like, because, yeah, I have absolutely no idea why on earth they would do it otherwise. And they talk about that they're jealous or something, so you're like, what the fuck, is this some sort of... So I thought, oh, it's gonna be something with the dreams or whatever, but no, apparently it's just something completely differently. So if you want to have some evil character that turns a good guy in the end, like, don't make her or it evil for the sake of being evil. And especially not in this case. I really feel like they should have made her more ominous rather than evil or an asshole. Evil is a bit of an exaggeration because it didn't necessarily do anything evil, sort of. They gave nightmares and they prevented me from sleeping, and they prevented Yuri from sleeping as well. And it feels like that they caused Yuri's cutting as well. I feel like they should have made Libitina more ominous rather than mean. Like give like a sort of like a priest or whatever, or a sage that gives extremely weird like descriptive advice, and you have to like pull out the meaning of that and then make the correct choice based on that. And then eventually you can figure out like the reason why it was so descriptive and not so direct is because something, I don't know, just think of something, and then it turns out that they wanted to help Yuri the whole time because they were trying to fight Yuri's depression or Yuri's urge to cut, you know? And they saw that me or MC could help with that, so therefore they tried to reach out to MC in his dreams. And that's why he got those dreams. You know, then you got a motive, you know? Then you got a motive for why they were doing the things. They may be nightmares, they may be crazy and weird and ominous, but then you have a motive as to why that was done. And of course, if you don't make the nightmares themselves too evil and mean and whatnot, where they just talk Yuri into the ground for a few minutes, rather than, you know, like try to reach through to the player and try to steer them towards the correct choice, then they are much more redeemable if they were ominous rather than mean. Because why on earth would they be mean? If their whole goal was to try and save Yuri, why on earth would they be mean the whole time? Like, yes, maybe they wanted to convey a point that Yuri was cutting herself and you needed to help her, but they didn't really do a good job at conveying that. They just told about, yeah, Yuri cuts herself. Did you know that? You should, like, why on earth did you go to her? And also that line before, like, oh, you could have helped Monika or Sayori or Natsuki rather than Yuri, because somehow Yuri is the incorrect choice. All of that stuff, like that. How on earth would this character be redeemable in the end if they make this character out to be so incredibly mean the whole time? It's kind of like with Monika in Fallen Angel. Monika Monika killed Yuri. She committed suicide, but the reason why she did that is because Monika spread all the rumors about her through her social media, using her power as the popular girl. That is some extremely evil, and also the reason why she did that, it just felt like, well, just because. That's why Monika was very irredeemable in Fallen Angel. And which is what, like I said, during my Fallen Angel playthrough at the very end, they could have made, or maybe should have made, Monika's motive a bit clearer. Rather than just because she felt like MC was the only character that she could be with. Like, why? Like, she's the popular girl. She has boys lining up for her. Why on earth? Why me out of anyone? Like, you know, and why did she hate Yuri so much? Because why am I so important? You know, they could have definitely given a better motive for Monika. Like, maybe she is extremely, maybe she is presented as the grade A student, but maybe she struggles with classes a lot, so she has to do a crap ton of work in order to get those A pluses the whole time. But her parents are extremely mean, as she doesn't come back with an A plus, but with an A instead. Then her parents don't give her dinner that night or whatever, or slap her or whatever, and that's why she's forced to work so incredibly hard to get all the good grades that she gets the whole time. So everybody thinks that she's really smart, but in the end she just has to work a crap ton because she's actually not as smart as everybody thinks that she is. But then Yuri is actually very smart, so Yuri doesn't really have to do a lot of work and gets good grades anyway. So in Monika's mind, Yuri just gets everything handed to her for free, which is not true, but you know, she's so incredibly stressed with everything that she's forced to do by her parents, then that's what her jealousy and whatnot makes her see. And then finally, when she starts to, and then of course she doesn't have time for boyfriends or whatever because her parents forbade her to do that or whatever. And then finally, when I join, or MC joins the literature club, that's like the very first boy that she actually genuinely has feelings for. And then that boy is also stolen in her mind, in her eyes, by Yuri, the girl that she already very much dislikes because that's the girl that's, you know, it beats her at every time when if she's being beaten by anyone, it's always Yuri. And you know, if she gets an A instead of an A plus, then her parents are like, oh, Yuri got an A plus on that test, fuck you. Like, you know, like she's made to be the evil girl in her eyes because of what her parents say and what her mind makes her see. And then when she finally meets a boy that she, like the first boy that she ever has gotten feelings for, then that person is also stolen by none other than Yuri. That is what completely sends her over the edge and causes her to go full yandere mode, which is what eventually causes her to spread those rumors, which cause Yuri to kill herself. You know, the story, rather, you know, like everything that happens in the story is exactly the same. You know, Monika spreads rumors and then Yuri kills herself. So that whole part of the story is exactly the same. But Monika has a very clear motive. So, you know, even maybe you don't have to. Maybe still, it's very difficult to make her into a good character at the end because Yuri literally killed herself because of what Monika did. But at least you understand why she did that. You know, like, oh yeah, the stress from her parents. Oh yeah, that makes you jealous. Like, oh yeah, that jealousy makes you see things that aren't really there. Oh yeah, and then the first person that she catches feelings for is also stolen by this girl in her mind. Oh yeah, you know, like, you don't have to agree with what she did because, of course, what she did is terrible, but it makes sense why she did it because you can imagine what it would be like if you were in her shoes. So, you know, like, it is definitely possible to write a character in a better way than that, and also to redeem themselves, to redeem those characters. But I feel like they should have written this a bit better, but okay. I love you, says that part of Yuri then, apparently. Oh, come on! It's a Saturday! Still, if I said it to go off, I must have somewhere to be. Slowly... Excuse me, get out of bed, picking up my clothes for the day. Something smells weird. Oh right, I haven't showered in like 2 days. Grabbing my change of clothes, I head to the bathroom. But why did I set my alarm for today? Hopefully some heavy shower thinking can solve that. It's only after I get out of the shower that it hits me. Fuck, of course. Yuri was meant to come over today. Guess I could just relax then. I head downstairs to go watch something. The stairway and living room are pitch black. Cause you left the blinds down, you idiot. Oh. Question mark? Who could be calling me? I thought I blocked everyone. Ugh, come on. Where are those blinds? Oh, there we go. I can pick up my phone from where I left it yesterday. Now who? What? Mom is calling? Hello? Hey sweetie, how's my boy doing? I'm fine, Mom. Are you sure? You sound a bit sick. Can't have Mom know what's going on. I wouldn't want to worry her. Yeah, sorry, I just woke up. Well, alright, sweetie, I'm just calling to ask if you could do something for me. Something wrong with the house? No, your father and I had something delivered today. Would you be able to bring it inside? It should be just outside the door. Sure thing, Mom. I woke up and started unlocking the door, opening it slightly. So where would you like me to put... I slam the door shut as soon as I see who's outside. But her foot jams the door open. Oh, hi Monika. Hi Monika.